Hello, 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 and welcome. Hi, everyone. Welcome to our weekly chats. Just while we have a few people come on, I'm going to set a few things up because we've got a really important topic we're going to talk about with today, which is all about teeth. And there's so much to share with you. I cannot simply get it all into one session, but I'm sure you will find this extremely informative if you know very little about guinea pigs to even a considerable amount. I'm sure you will learn something. So we're going to dive right into it in just a moment. Let me set up the chat. Let me know if you can hear me, which is great. And let's get the chat in operation. So we can see that there. And I also want to open another, let's just see. How do I do that? There we go. Okay. Hello, Marsha. Hi, Robert. Hello. How am I feeling? Yes, I'm sorry we did not have the chat last night at 8 p.m. I actually had about a food poisoning, which resulted from a mulberry. So more on that later, but really bizarre. But I actually want to take some footage of something. But I was really, really sick for 48 hours. I had Suzanne, who was one of our volunteers, come up here on Monday, which was a planned time frame, and literally I could not stand. So it was a really awful time, really, really awful. So I had to postpone until today. I'm feeling so much better, so much better. But yes, I cannot believe how it can hit you so badly. It's awful. Has anyone else had it before? It's been like 30 years since I've had something like that, and it was just horrendous. Hi, Janet Mary Timothy. Hi, Winward. It's Terry, I think. Hi, Terry. Let me just get rid of that screen there so I can see that's covering the chat. There we go. So I just want to open up one little window for you, and let's see how I can do this. Okay, and I'm going to share a window. Just got something organized for you. Right. Okay, it works. Can you see that screen? Hopefully you can. Hopefully. Let's go back to here. Oop. Hang on. Just give me a moment, guys. First time I've done this, so we'll get it looking right first. And I'm going to pop it down like that. How does that look? Maybe not great. Let's try that. Is that better? Okay. So today, hi Robin, how are you? Before we get into our topic, which is all about teeth, and I'm sure you'll find lots of this fascinating, I just wanted to thank a couple of people. So Anne Evans and Marsha Carey, who actually gave some, they're called thank yous, super thank yous. I didn't even know that super thank yous existed on YouTube until I was going through comments and I came across these. So thank you so much. I actually don't know how people do them as such. That's something I have to find out. So if you do know, perhaps you can let me know in the chat. But I just wanted to say a thank you for those because I have seen them and I've commented on those. I also have been doing a little bit of research myself. So I'll pop myself back up here for a moment. Here we go. Actually, I'm not game to touch it because then it might disappear. But I've been doing a little bit of research myself. And I have, oh, this is the one, I think. Maybe. Oh, it swapped it. Anyway, I've been doing a little bit of research myself. And we've been getting a lot of views on this channel. But what has surprised me is 80% of you are not subscribed. So as you come on to watch this either live or later on, click that subscribe button because we have so much information that we're sharing here that people find of value. And obviously it's being shared, but people are not subscribing. So they're coming back, but not subscribing. And we need those subscriptions in order to be seen on YouTube. So click your subscribe button now. Okay, let's dive into our topic, teeth. Little chompers, while I get our screen back, tell me how many teeth guinea pigs have. Guys, in the chat, pop that down there. How many teeth do you think they have? I know quite a few that if you there will know, but let's see. I'm going to do it this way. That's better. Okay. How many teeth? All those comments come through. How many teeth do you think they have? 12. Any more numbers on that? Higher? Lower? What do you think? Most people when they're 24, Janet Mary, okay, keep going. How many? In the chat, throw your numbers in. 20, Marsha, keep going. So we've got all sorts of numbers coming up. When we have people come here to visit us, they're usually astounded to discover that they have 20 teeth. So 20 teeth in that little mouth. Most people guess in the region of 4 or 2 based on what they can see right at the front of their mouth. And of course, they're the ones that are most obvious. So they're the ones that you can see and that we can tell a whole lot of information about. So we're going to actually talk about that at the moment. You can see all those numbers changing in the back. But yes, 20 teeth they have in there. The ones at the front, we have 4 at the front, 4 in sizes, 2 top and 2 bottom. So what do we know about these teeth? Firstly, guinea pigs as rodents, they continually grow. So we've had instances where guinea pigs have lost teeth. We have people come to us where they've broken teeth, they've fallen out, they've knocked them out, all these sorts of issues. Teeth can regrow within usually 10 days, sometimes a little bit faster depending on their age. But by 10 days, they've got a normal length tooth back matching the size of the other tooth, which is incredible if you think, how amazing that is. But there's actually more to that than simply knocking it out and then having that disappear. Hello, Suzanne. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Okay, so they continually grow. And what we know about the jaw shape of a guinea pig is that it's almost triangular in appearance with right at the front teeth, but it goes back in an angle out wider. And that creates a really large volume cavity within the mouth, which is quite long because the teeth actually extend back to where their jaw is. So with your guinea pig, you can actually feel the edge of their jaw, and from there, their rear molars actually extend in not far from the back end of the jaw. So all of that is actually mouth space. And because of that in there, they also have a tongue, which is quite long because it has to go from the back of their throat all the way to the front. Now, guinea pig tongues should be able to extend out of their mouth. So they should be able to lap things. So should be able to see their tongue. If you're never ever seeing your guinea pig tongue, that's a little indicator that perhaps, keep a good eye on things. Hi, guinea pig Sue. Good morning. So keep a good eye on things with that. There are more obvious signs though, and that's a very basic one because they don't openly go round poking their tongue out. But things like lapping water, you get to see them. Soft foods, you often see them with their little tongue coming in and out, and it's very cute. So when we're looking at these front teeth, what we find is that if they're angled in any way, this can be indicative of problems within the mouth. Now, I've created some little images for you that I'd like to go through to really explain what is going on so that you can see exactly what is happening. So on the screen there, you can see an image which says all about teeth. The first thing is that on the channel, we have loads and loads of videos on teeth. And all you need to do in the Cavi Central channel is type in teeth in the search bar and they'll come up. So this particular one was about a tooth issue with the little fellow on the left. Now, let's just move this screen through. I'm not sure how to change this. Let's see. I think I have to go to my other screen. We'll practice together. I think. one's on the screen. Let me see, guys. Oh, here. Okay. Now, I don't think I can see the chat. We'll have a look. Maybe I can. Maybe I can. I don't think so. Okay, so what I'm going to do is change it a different way. Patient, guys. Sorry. It's coming. It's coming. Can't find that window. Where's it gone? Where's it gone? Oh, here. Okay. All right. Okay, we're with it. We're with it. I think. I'm thinking, yes. Okay, I'm just testing this out. Let's see. Right. First image. Let's go. So, looking at this first little picture, again, these are all guinea pigs that have come in, and this little piggy had a load of food that was stuck up the top of the mouth. So this can be an indication of teeth issues occurring, because food caught up in that region could cause infection and other issues. So with that in mind, you need to be regularly taking a look at their teeth like this so that you will notice any problems. Just got to put that chat back up. Let's have a look at the next one. You'll see here, this one again has got a lot of gunge up in the mouth, but you'll also notice the shape of the teeth in this one. And the shape is really quite, what would you call it? Hooked like. It's almost like crested in each of the teeth. And this is indicative that there's more going on with these teeth than simply the gunk that is occurring at the top. So another indication there that something may be untoward with the teeth. This little guy here, can anyone spot what's going on with this piggy? Let me know in the chat. I'm just going to put this one down here for a minute. Oh, hang on a minute. It's gone again. It's gone. Were you seeing that okay? Let me see. Back molars, Tam says. Is everyone seeing those when I put them up? Was it showing okay on the screen? Let's see it again. I'm just going to put it back. Okay, hopefully it's still working. So what we're looking at here is, of course, a guinea pig that is drooling. So drooling is a sign of problems with teeth because they're not able to keep all of the contents in their mouth. So another issue with that. Usually when they're drooling, they're also very smelly. And the same with food that's caught in their mouth up around their teeth. If you put your nose near their mouth, it really smells. So another indication that you need to keep an eye on. Move that one on there. Okay, let's have a look at this little guy. He has come in with two teeth, very different lengths. And in this instance, he may have knocked a tooth out and one has regrown, or he may have broken a tooth, both which can indicate issues. So in this instance, it could be that there's a dietary issue involved as well as damage to a tooth that's involved. And again, an indication that something is going on within the mouth. This little fellow down here, you'll notice, has very unusual looking teeth on the bottom surface. And he also has that cutout shape, which isn't flat across, but very hooked in appearance on different teeth. In fact, they're all sort of jagged, so nothing is smooth. The teeth at the bottom are also very long in comparison to the top. So something is not right. This little guy here, he actually has teeth that don't line up. I'm not actually even holding his head in any way to position it. But just by taking a simple photo, you can see his teeth don't line up. And this can not only extend to a tooth issue, but may also relate to a jaw issue. Again, we can see the very sharp edged teeth that are showing there, top and bottom, and you can see the malalignment issue that's occurring. This little issue, I think, came off our site somewhere, but this one again shows the teeth lining up, and you can see the top nearly mirror the bottom. But it tells me that the guinea pig in this instant isn't grinding from side to side. They're more likely actually grinding front to back in order to maintain that shape. And that actually means that their entire jaw motion in eating is very different to what a normal guinea pig jaw motion should be. Woo, hang on a minute. Where'd it go? Let's get that back. Okay, we need to come back to here. Oh, there we go. Oh, this piggy. That's the same black piggy that you were just looking at. Okay. So this little sweetheart, as you can see, has another really serious issue. Not only does he have two teeth at the bottom, he has a third one coming out of the bottom of the jaw. And they weren't sure what was happening with this little piggy, why he was not feeling as well. And this is what we discovered straight away as soon as we looked. So, and this is actually a photo of that same little guinea pig. So to look at a guinea pig, when I look at that guinea pig, I instantly know something is wrong. But a lot of people will see just a furry, cute guinea pig in that picture. And it's, I don't know, it's almost like I'm in tune with what they're showing me there. But I can see the weight loss in that guinea pig just on looking at him. Okay, let's take a look inside their mouth. And you can see here, again, the front teeth, top and bottom. But going into the mouth, you can actually see the rear teeth. You've got incisors and molars back there, middle and mid incisors. And you can even see, I wonder if the mouse will even show it, right down here. Look at that rear molar, how it's completely on the wrong edge, completely. And this one here has completely overgrown, and it's now starting to encase the tongue. This is the tongue behind. So this little piggy would be starting to have real issues in eating the right amounts of food and quantity. So there's some serious issues there. Also take a look at the front of the mouth. And if you're popping questions down into the chat, I'll be back in there in a moment. I just want to run through some of these slides first. But you'll notice the top image that's there, how the teeth, top and bottom, although they're slightly curved, slight curvature, they don't have that chipped out bit that we see in some of the other images. They have almost a straight image where one top section is matching this bottom section, which is a side-to-side grating motion that they've had, but it's not straight. But they're also not as bad in appearance as some of the ones I've just shown you. But look how terrible the ones are in behind. Now, of course, we'll come back to that in just a moment. But let's go and look at, actually, we might just jump back to the chat for a moment. Let me do that so I can see you. Okay. Never seen anything like that, Guinea Pig Sue says. Okay. So we've got lots of comments in here. Back molars, yeah. Great. Guinea pigs eat lots of hay, they do. So there's lots and lots of issues that are occurring there. And I guess you've seen some of the more severe cases that are really common to us when they come into rescue, and we see them all the time. So let's have a look at some of the reasons that actually cause this, and what is really, you know, what are the things that you can do about it, and what is the action that you need to take in order to firstly avoid this if you can, or secondly, how to manage it if you've got this sort of issue. Firstly, let's go back to these slides because I want to show you this one. You'll see, actually, I'll leave it on the screen there with me for the moment. You'll see it has lots of cucumber with the center eaten out of it. Does anyone want to pop into the chat what this means? Any ideas? What does it tell you? Janet Mary, the piggy with the third tooth, is there a reason why this happened? Yes, that particular one is definitely a genetic issue, was born with a tooth bud in that area. And we'll touch on that. So there are some genetic issues that can be caused with guinea pigs that they are born with. They don't form extra teeth for no reason, but they do, in some instances, like lethal guinea pigs, they're born with extra teeth or missing teeth. So this can happen. So there's lots of information there. Oh, Guinea Pig Sue, thank you so much. And I've got a thank you for you. Let's give you a guinea pig thank you. Hold on. Everybody stay tuned. This is all new to me. But this is for Guinea Pig Sue. Thank you so much, Guinea Pig Sue. That is appreciated. So coming back to our chat, we have this little picture here is telling me that a guinea pig is preferring to eat the softer food rather than the harder rind of a cucumber. Now, cucumbers are not hard. They're not as hard as hay at all. But you can see my piggies are weaking behind me to set it off. But you can see that they're preferring to eat the softer food. Let's have a look at another one. Let's go to it. Hold on. Stay tuned. Stay tuned, people. Here we go. Take another peek. And again, you'll notice it's not just happening once. So if you watch and observe what food is left over when you feed your guinea pigs, it really does give you a good indication as to what is occurring. And you'll see here, again, it's happening to every single piece of cucumber. Let's take a look at this one. It's a little video I'm going to play for you. Are you ready? Okay, I'll play that again for you. What you're looking at there is carrot that has been given to a guinea pig, but there's little pieces of it being left behind. So the bigger piece has been eaten, but this is like the remnants and it's dropping out of its mouth, not able to consume all of it. This is an indication of teeth issues. Again, carrot being a more hard, more solid vegetable is indicative that that guinea pig is not managing it very well at all. Okay, let's come back to the chat. So, okay, so carrot was another indication there. So when people have guinea pigs, I've just shown you some of the signs of what their front teeth can look like, and these are the areas that you can see, but also what the food actually looks like after in a pen or within their cage area. You can see little remnants or that they're being very picky about the food that they're eating. Now, we've had people come before that have said, you know, I'll ask them about their diet and they'll say every day they give their guinea piece of watermelon, that they absolutely love watermelon and they just cannot, they're not happy unless they have their watermelon. But in reality, that little group of piggies, the problem was their teeth. They could not eat or consume other foods because their teeth were not working in that way. They're almost getting it into their mouth and trying to squash and suck it out. And at that stage, they were in a very distressed state of teeth problems. So some of the other issues, when guinea pigs start losing weight, this can be an indication that there is a mouth or a dental issue. Often people don't correlate the two things, but it's really important at least every week or two that you take a measurement, that you weigh your guinea pigs. Because if they're dropping just a little bit each weight, let's say they drop 50 grams this week, another 50 grams the following week, it's not really obvious to your eyes if you've got a big guinea pig. But over a 3-week interval or a 4-week interval, that's nearly 200 grams. So it starts to really show. And by then you've almost lost a little bit of the lead time in order to rectify that. Because guinea pig teeth, we know, if you go back to the beginning of this video, they can fully grow within 10 days. So if you've lost 4 weeks of a window, you can be in serious trouble with their teeth. Does that make sense, guys? That the time frames are so different, and why we have to get on top of these teeth issues so quickly. We have to be aware of them so quickly. So weight loss is a number one thing that you can manage to ensure that your guinea pigs are staying where they need to be. Now, of course, weight loss doesn't always mean that it's a tooth issue, because there's so many other things that can occur. But it's one of the red flags that we see with weight loss: teeth, instantly. Okay, looking at the front teeth, just by noticing them, you will then see some of those shapes that I've shown you today. Are they not nice and straight? Are the bottom teeth far longer than the top teeth? Is there chipping, or there's an angle like this to their teeth, or are they sort of all jutted together? So all these are indications, again, that there's something going on with the teeth. Some behavioral aspects that show teeth issues are that guinea pigs will start to show interest in a particular type of food, like the watermelon guinea pigs. That's what they'll want every single time. And it almost looks like they're begging for it. They'll come to the front of the cage because they haven't received what they want. That's simply because they can't eat the other food. They can't consume it. They'll try if they can. When they reach a point where they can't try anymore, they'll actually give up. And at that point, you'll even see, we've had guinea pigs come in, and it's so sad. You'll put food down, they'll walk over to it, they'll walk away. They simply have given up, and they know that they can't do it. It's really, really heartbreaking to see that. We get onto it straight away. But, you know, it's a really serious issue. So when you see guinea pigs being preferential with their food, that's an indication that there's something can be going on there. Okay, drooling, we've talked about that. We've mentioned that one. You've seen an image of that, so you know what it's like, wet, and in particular under one side. Now, drooling doesn't always mean it's a tooth issue. Again, we've had guinea pigs that have had very wet areas that have caused infections underneath their chin, and that are actually quite weighty guinea pigs, but it's more to do with having constant water in that area and folds of their chin staying moist and bacteria developing there. So it's not always teeth, but it can be one of those little things to watch. Smelly mouths. Smelly mouths are usually something very direct to the mouth. There's infection there, there's a problem there may be a tooth issue there. So smelly mouths, definitely, a very good indicator of that region. Head tilt. Has everyone seen head tilt before? Tell me how many. I didn't put a photo up, and I don't have one on this laptop. But has everyone seen head tilt, where guinea pigs are like this? They walk around like this. There's a number of reasons for head tilting guinea pigs, and one of those reasons can be tooth issues. So overgrown rear teeth can actually cause issues with that, with pain, with they're actually trying to angle the heads differently. So teeth can be a problem in the instance of head tilt. An abscess on the jaw, that's another one. We often get abscesses here, big abscesses. That can be indicative of a tooth issue. Not always, because the abscess can actually have been caused from something else, but it can occur that, if you see an abscess, and you've seen me lance these, they're really smelly, horrible, yucky things to deal with. They're not common, but when we see abscesses like that, we really have to ensure that the teeth are also doing okay, because there's two sides of that story. We see the one where we take care of the abscess, and in 90% of the cases we deal with, it's simply an abscess. In that other 10% of cases, there may be some dental involvement. So we need to be aware of that. Any questions on that? I'm throwing a lot of information your way. You're all very quiet. And this is something very different, I know. Shall I get rid of the carrots on the screen for a moment? Let's put me back. Hold on. Here we go. Is that better? Okay. So, yeah, actually, is that better? Would you like to have the pictures again? Let me know what's better for you. What would you prefer? If you want me to go back to any of those images, let me know as well. I'll take you back through them. For people who are joining us, go back to the start later on and you'll see a lot of information about right through teeth that you need to be aware of. Okay, so how do these teeth get into such a state? How does this happen? Because people get guinea pigs as pets, they love them, they feel they're doing the right thing. How do they end up coming to us looking as bad as it is? So how does that occur? Okay, in the case of the short tooth, they may have broken a tooth. How do they break the tooth? Sadly, they get dropped. So we see this all too often, guinea pigs being dropped. And it's frightening because the first thing that usually hits the ground is their poor little face, and it's their front teeth. So quite often they knock out their tooth. Now, when we talk about broken teeth, I'll touch on that in a moment. So, okay, they've had a fall to their face, and that can knock out a tooth. They can break their jaw. So when any animal comes to us here in rescue, we're not just looking at one issue. 9 times out of 10, issues are compounded, because if you can imagine, if you fell on your face, you may have hurt your nose as well, or your teeth, or your jaw, or chest. There could be so much more involved if that fall is really bad. So quite often people pick up their guinea pig, there's blood coming from the mouth, and they say, oh, they've lost their tooth. But that may not be the extent of the problem. There may be more that's been involved. So that's the first thing. But that's often the usual common way they lose a tooth. The second common way is they bite on wire cages. So we see this where they can, and you can see the cages behind, they cannot bite on the chicken wire there, it's too thin. But the heavier wire cages, if you've got a guinea pig that wants to really nip, and I think everyone's seen those in videos, they can break a tooth. And that's really awful. Another way that this happens is that if they've got a lack of calcium in their diet, or in fact vitamin C, both of them really have an impact on teeth, but more so calcium. And you need calcium in your diet, guys. Do not think you can't feed your guinea pigs calcium. That's a big no-no, but we'll come back to that. Because they're growing their teeth. Every 10 days, they can completely regrow their teeth. They need calcium. But the important thing there is that we do see guinea pigs. I've seen them come in with black teeth, completely black. And within a week, with a change of diet, completely white teeth to the same length have replaced. So really amazing things with teeth once you start working with that. So usually when we look at damage to teeth, it extends from an accident, it extends from, an accidental break, or it's connected to their diet. So they're not getting the right nutrients in order for those teeth to be strong enough. Another issue that can cause teeth to form problems is that food can get stuck. Now, for anyone that's ever eaten popcorn, you would know that little bits of popcorn get stuck in your teeth. Now, we can take it out, particularly as we get older. When I was young, I don't ever remember it getting stuck, but now I do. And you'll often find that guinea pigs that have dental issues are older, not young. So if we correlate that to how we manipulate food in our mouth, it's very possible that they can get food stuck in there. So a grain can get stuck in there. Something that they've eaten sharp off the edge of food can get stuck in there, that they've eaten, or I don't know, I've bitten myself on the tongue before. We all have issues like that. Animals are no different. And we do find that with some guinea pigs, they can get impacted issues with something stuck in their mouth. And that then causes infection to build up. And because it's in around the root of teeth, it causes teeth dental issues. Things like abscesses can form infection based on that. So really awful. Okay, Robin says, people do need to really do their homework. Absolutely. And I'm hoping that this really fills in a lot of the missing gaps. It's probably the most informative video all in one lump that I'm throwing at you this morning. I've got a lot to get through. I'm also on a time restriction, guys, so I've got like about 15 minutes left. So let's continue going. Right, so the last way that they can have teeth issues is if they're born with them. We touched on that earlier, and guinea pigs like Lethals that can be born with one tooth, for example, or a couple of teeth, or more teeth than normal. These sorts of malformities can occur. They occur in nature, and it occurs. So what can we do about this? Is the first thing. First thing is that you recognize there's a problem. So by going through the list of items that I've been through, monitoring your guinea pig's weight, checking for a smelly mouth, monitoring their front teeth, looking for what they're picking and choosing in their diet, ensuring that they have a good diet, which we'll do a whole other talk on, ensuring all of those things are in place, you will be pretty certain that your guinea pig's teeth are okay. Now, we need a little instrument to actually look at the rear teeth. So I'm just asking you to look at and gauge from the front teeth, which really does give you a good picture of what's going on. So one of those things will fail if there are problems in the mouth, because a guinea pig will lose weight. The telltale sign, always weight loss, because as they get to eat less and less, they struggle more and more. They can't consume food at the same rate. If they've got pain in their mouth and they cannot grind sufficiently, like if their jaw is cracked or there's an issue with the tooth or in some way, like even those teeth that are overgrowing their tongue, it's cutting into their tongue. So they have to eat very cautiously, and they choose their food carefully. For those guinea pigs, if we look at the speed of eating compared to others, they might be 1/10 of a time as fast. So those guinea pigs that have dental issues, they have to continue to eat and eat and eat. You'll always find them last at the food bowl because they're trying to consume food. They're not full yet. It's taken them so long to get to that point. And at some point, they actually get exhausted because they've got to rest as well. And their teeth, remember, are continuing to grow the whole time, and they're not grinding them down. So they're really they're in a time constraint, and they're in trouble. So if you run through that whole checklist that I've given you, you'll be able to know if there's a problem. What do we do? Okay, the first thing you need to do is identify the problem. The second thing is get yourself to a vet that can deal with dental issues. Now, not all vets deal with dental issues, and this is a real problem within the industry, and it's changing. So it will change. Things have changed over time. The way that we use medications 10 years, even 20 years ago, the ones that we used in treatment are very different now that we used back then. And dental is changing as well. Not as quickly as we would like, but it's changing. So there are two ways that you can actually have a vet deal with dental issues, and they are usually exotic vets. I'm not going to class every vet as needing to be exotic, because there are some vets that have a real interest in guinea pigs that are able to do dentals. So, but you need to find one, and you need to find one fast if you've got a dental issue. So the majority are exotic vets. The most common method that's used out there is through anesthetic. Now, what that means is that they actually anesthetize your animal while they can open the mouth, and then they can do the necessary work within their mouth. A bit like you going to sleep in the dentist chair, so you're not aware of anything. Now, there are advantages to that in the sense that they can do the full work, they can work the whole mouth, they can do any amount of changes, all this sort of thing. But there are risks as well, risks of aspiration, and the risks after they have that dental are very high, because a lot of it is to do with the macromal joint, which is back here in the jaw, because the little guinea pig has had his mouth open like that for a very long time, and quite often can have injury to this area, or because the muscles have been stretched, because the teeth have grown, the guinea pig's mouth is used to being open, the muscles are stretched, suddenly their teeth are back in alignment, their muscles are all sloppy again, so they don't work as well. And the motion that they need, that shaving sort of action, is not often something that comes right back in. So the care that's necessary after that sort of surgery comes down to the owner to give them lots of care, with critical care, feeding, and support the whole time until they can recover. And this can take a week to 2 weeks. And it can also take a revisit as well. So it's quite a complex thing. Okay, the other method of dental work is without anesthetic. And we have some vets here that do that without anesthetic. And what they will do is remove portions of teeth that need adjustment. Now, that can be done very quickly because the guinea pig is awake, so there's no risk with anesthetic, but the guinea pig recovery is far faster, and we've actually found a massively high success rate with this method. It's really good. So we'll do a whole other talk on that sort of method later, but I just wanted you to be aware that there's 2 methods of vets dealing with anesthetic, and if you can get the one that deals without the anesthetic, there are huge advantages to that. We've got a few questions over there. People really do need to do their homework. Absolutely, Robin. Yes. Lisa, you're listening. Thank you so much. Back tooth problems mostly because of lack of hay. Hay is really important, but I'm going to throw in there, so is grass. Because grass, if you think about it, or hay, if you think about it, is dried grass. But the real component that's in there is silica. And silica is a grinding compound, which is a really important dietary aspect for teeth to actually use in grinding. And that's why hay is in part so important. Hay length is also important, because when you give guinea pigs really short food, they're taking it in through the front, and then they can take it to the rear. But those really long strands that we give them, you'll see them moving side to side in their mouth as they get fed in. They're actually being ground against where they want within the back teeth. So hay is absolutely vital to their diet. It's 80% of their diet. And when guinea pigs start having dental issues, we talked about food preference and how they change from not wanting their hay as much. They always want their vegetables more. That's an indication, guys. Make them have the hay. Make them have that. Not as simply as it sounds, but I hope I'm getting my point through there. Okay, Guinea Pig Sue says, are back teeth problems mostly because of, we just talked about that. Okay, my vet will only do it under anesthetic. Yeah, it always worries me. It's a huge problem. And honestly, under anesthetic as well means that the cost is also often something people can't meet. Now, I don't want to hear discussion about, if you've got pets, you have to have the money to afford this, because in this day and age, people really do love their animals, take care. Well, a lot of people love their animals and take good care of them. But at the end of the day, to get an invoice of $2,000, and that's what it can be here in Sydney, that's just, it's out of the blue. And there are a lot of families that are struggling that absolutely love their pets, and they're not ready for something like that. We do have vet pay. We do have these other methods. It's a really difficult situation and a difficult call to make. And in some instances where teeth are so bad, like some of those images I've shared with you, not only is one treatment necessary, but it's a regular treatment. So it's a regular commitment to that. So There's a lot of cost involved in caring for pets, which needs to be considered at the time you take on the care of the animal. Absolutely. Absolutely. But there are people who love their pets, who, have fallen in love with guinea pigs, love them, and they're now in this situation. So, we've got to try and find some methods that are a little bit more affordable for people, but also do the work. Honestly, guinea pig, Sue, the non-anesthetic method, 90% of the guinea pigs that have that are alive the following year. And that's a high success rate. We can't ignore that. It's brilliant. Absolutely. Okay, running out of time. 7 minutes left. Throw your questions up if you've got any on teeth. And I'm just going to finish up in a moment. So what can you do as well? So we've identified that you need to weigh them regularly and look through all the identification issues I've pointed out, that you need to identify a vet that can assist you wherever you are in the world, that you can do that. And there's other interesting things to do with teeth I'll touch on later, but yeah, we'll go through that later. But what you do need to do immediately is support feed your guinea pig. You need to feed them. So, Suzanne, I'm not sure if you can find the link, but the link maybe for creating some critical care in the video list, if you can throw that into the chat, that would be appreciated for people. But you need to feed them some critical care food that is liquid enough that can get into their mouth and that they're able to swallow. So given their teeth are all over the place, they need to be able to swallow it down so that they can actually stay well and on top of their weight. Now, you can purchase a product called Critical Care, which I don't have any here at the moment, but you could purchase that, or you can actually make your own. So hopefully if that link goes up, you can see the link and how to actually do that. You can make it from the food that you have, and that will sustain your guinea pig until you can get to see the vet. Usually vets these days have a waiting list, and particularly in COVID, we have, we're only days away of coming out of the Sydney lockdown, which is great. We have had over 100 days in lockdown. So it's been really, really bad here. But in saying that, we're only days away from Sydney-siders being able to move outside Sydney. Oh, there's the link going up. Thank you, Suzanne. But so if you have to wait to see a vet, how do you feed this little starving guinea pig? You get a syringe from a chemist, from a pharmacy, and you make some critical food. Follow the instructions in that video, and from the food that you have at home, you will be able to keep that guinea pig well supported with food and hydrated so that they can survive till they see the vet, who will then guide you more. And of course, at that point, when you've got a guinea pig that's extremely unwell, you need to be weighing them regularly, and I mean daily. So when we have guinea pigs that are really unwell, extremely unwell, we weigh daily, not weekly, daily, because that's the only way we can gauge. Now, how much critical care do you give a guinea pig? Because people will say, oh, I've given it 5 mils today. That's not enough. An adult guinea pig male of 1,000 grams will consume somewhere between 60 to 100 mils. So that's a considerable amount. If you break that down into 6 feeds of 10 mils, is that right? 6 feeds? Oh, I don't. Someone will have to do the maths for me out there. But if you break whatever number, say 80 mil, or do 60 mil, break that down into 6 feeds, that's 10 mil per feed. You need to be giving the guinea pig through a 24-hour window. And yes, it means you need to wake up through the night to make that happen, because they can't consume it all at once. And when they've not been, they've sort of been on a restricted diet because their teeth have slowly been having issues, they're not used to all that food at once. So the first time you feed them, they may take 3 mil. But the second time you feed them a few hours later, they may take 4 mil and then 5 mil. But you need to keep an eye on that so you can measure what they're taking, their intake, so that you can maintain their weight. Okay? So with that, hopefully I've given you some solutions as to what teeth issues are, what to look for, how to actually act, what to do in getting a vet, and how to care for them so that you can get them from A to B in the meantime. Okay. The last thing I just wanted to touch on very quickly before I have to go is that when guinea pigs do injure teeth, there is a bud to the tooth, a tooth bud right down the bottom. And people often think, oh, they've just knocked their tooth out. And I mean, they're devastated, of course. And they think, yes, they'll grow back, or will they grow back? 9 times out of 10, yes, they will, because the tooth bud is down the bottom and it will continue to grow. And we know in 10 days it will grow back. But the tooth bud can be dislodged or repositioned. So those teeth that do regrow back quite often aren't straight. So they can grow up. We see guinea pigs with one sort of coming off in a different angle. So again, you may need some veterinary care with that to get support. Okay. Awesome. Okay, everybody, I want to thank you for being here today. Again, just to remind you that every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. we are going to go live. I do apologize again last night. I was really unwell, as Suzanne will attest. And I will see you again next week. We're going to cover some really interesting things. We had some guests planned for this week, but it just didn't quite come about, but hopefully next week. Thanks, Robert. Thanks, Robert. Thanks, Robin. Great to see you here. And I look forward to seeing you all again soon. If you are not subscribed, click that button. And I'd appreciate it if you click a like on the screen right now, so that, again, this helps the video be seen. And I think the information I've given you is pretty important in terms of tooth care and what you need to be aware of. So please click like and share this video out. I appreciate you all. And, thank you for following Cavi Central. We're coming out of lockdown, thank goodness. And we will be back next Tuesday night. Okay, take care, everyone. And bye for now. Bye now. Thank you too, Suzanne. Thank you.